All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to my power, Yahweh, Baal Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baal Hashem, Wahab, Rakakwadash. Honors be to the apostles and elders of Millstone and the elect elders that's pushing this word with all true sincerity. All right, the year 2025, the hope for your deliverance, the hope for your destruction. And we pray and hope that the Most High Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, bring all these prophets to pass in the time that we're living in. All right, especially in these times. All right, especially in these times. And as you brothers and you sisters see this title of this lesson, all right, having that spiritual protection on in these times. All right, having that spiritual protection on in these times, man, which is this word of the Heavenly Father, right? The word of Yahweh Shemal Shah. All right, the trust and believing in Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah in these times more so than ever. All right, you see a chaos is going throughout Babylon the Great, all right, and throughout the world, okay, and we see that this devil, hey, he's coming down having great wrath. Hey, you see that he's moving in, right, with his military, ISIS, throughout Babylon, and this thing is spreading like wildfire, and eventually, you know, we know that he's going to come down on the men of the Lord, those that's on the highways and hedges preaching his word. All right. See, Esau, he's about to come down with that great wrath. All right. And brothers been, you know, speaking on these topics. Esau is about to come down having great wrath, the time of Jacob's trouble, right? Martial law being declared. And as we see all these evils, right, you see that the enemy is coming in out like as a flood. So what we supposed to have on spiritual protection, which is his word. All right. So I'm gonna go into some precepts, a couple precepts I got written down. Gonna get come back with it. Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying, comforting, and exhorting to my brother as well as my few sisters that's listening and learning. So we'll start here in the book of Isaiah, chapter 59. Right, Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 15. It says, "Yea, true fellow, and he that departed from evil make himself a prey." That's right. Hey, we're being preyed on. Okay, we're being preyed on by the spiritual demon Satan, and ultimately, and uh, and ultimately the physical demon Satan as well, which is Esau Edom. That's why we're departing from evil. See, we're not accustomed to this world anymore. All right, now we're accustomed to the words of Yahweh Shemal Shah, right, following out the righteousness. And this devil, he only wants you to follow after his ways, which is evil, perverse, wickedness. And you see that we departing from those ways. All right. And now we seeking out the righteousness. We calling this devil out, and he can't stand it. So what he's going to do? He's going to try to come down on us. So it says, "Yea, true fellowth, and he that departed from evil, make himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And he saw that there was no man, and wonder there were no in intersector indicator Salakia, that there was no indicator. Therefore, his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness is sustained him." And it says, "For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation." Right? It says, and he put on righteousness as a breastplate. Right? So what? That's spiritual armor. Okay? Spiritual armor. Hey, shalom to my brother Daniela. Hey, how about Shema Shabbarakatam, Barakathum to in your household. Shalom, King. Try to speak a little up. I know sometimes it kind of be fading in and out, so try to speak a little louder. Yeah. Hey, beautiful brother. Shalom, shalom. Right? And so it says, "For he that put on righteousness as a breastplate." Okay, so we have to put on righteousness as a breastplate. All right, breastplate protect what? They protect your organs, right? They protect your heart, which is your main organ, right? So you have to put on what? That spiritual protection. And we're putting on spiritual protection, right? Righteousness as a breastplate, right? And it says, and a helmet of salvation, right? So you have to have a helmet, meaning what? You see, when you go into war, man, you have to have something to protect your head, man. Okay, protect your brain. You see, so we're putting on that spiritual armor. So it says helmet of salvation upon his head, and he put on garments of vengeance for cloak for clothing, and was glad with the seal of as a cloak. That's right. So it says, according to their deeds, according he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies, to the islands. He will repay recompense. That's right, man. You see the Lord gearing up for war, man. You see? Hey, the Lord is gearing up for war, man. And he's what? He got our mindset with that same mentality, gearing up for war. See, we see the evil's coming, so therefore we getting ourselves ready for the battle. Right? This is First Peter's 1 and verse 13 from our brother Daniela. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, you see, girding up the loins of your mind, getting your mind together, man. Right? Getting your mind stable. You see, getting your mind stable, right? Getting your mind ready. It says your mind and your mental. It says be sober and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. That's right. Proverbs 4 and 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So hey, you gotta have that helmet, because hey, that's where your heart, your mind, your life, right, reside, right? So you have to have that helmet on, that spiritual helmet, which is this word, man. Protecting this word. You fighting for this truth. You see, we're soldiers for Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. So it says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. That's right, man. That's right. So let's jump in the book of Ephesians. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6. As a matter of fact, let me go to this one first, since I'm in the book of First Thessalonians. First Thessalonians 5 and verse 8, verse 7, verse 6, verse 5, verse 4 is, the spirit. Verse 4 says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. You are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. And that's why we read what? That in Isaiah 59, he departed from evil, make himself a prey. See, Esau want us to continue to be in darkness, man. But that light have shined unto us. Now we're calling them out on all this wickedness, all this manner of evil that's in the midst of us, all these abominations. So guess what? He's going to try to come down on us, man. So hey, as we foresee the evil, we're hiding ourselves. We're gathering ourselves up, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. We're putting on that spiritual uh armor, that spiritual gear. So it says, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. That's right, because Esau wants you to be asleep, man. He wants us to stay asleep. But the Lord have woken us up to this truth, this everlasting life, which is this word. So it says, for sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a help, the hope of salvation. You see that? So yeah, you got to have that spiritual gear on these times, brothers and sisters. Mainly us brothers, man. You got to have that spiritual gear. That spiritual gear, faith. All right, putting on righteousness. You see, the helmet of salvation. That's what's near, salvation. Salvation nearer than we believe. And we clearly see that. We see that salvation nearer than we believe, man. And things are popping off left and right. And my brother Danyala, my brother Mashak, and Aki him out there across the pond, you see that the devil is moving in, man. And you getting fined for using cuss words, you know. Esau wants you to he wants you to have that digital ID. And yeah, and inside joke to my brother Danyala, hey, you owe me 15 pounds, brother. You already 15 pounds. Hey, shalom to my brother Ariyah. Hey, how about Shemal Shabarakatah and Barakathum to your household. Shalom, King. You know? But hey, you see, hey, this devil, hey, he's trying to put the squeeze on these people, man. You know, and mainly our people. So let me grab this in the book of Ephesians. Like I say this, just real quick to the point. Let's see, let me find this real quick. The book of Ephesians, the 6th chapter, right? If I have my little compact Bible, you know, I'm using this gigantic Bible. It's kind of hard to, maneuver. Or in verse 44, therefore be always ready, for in such an hour you think not the Son of Man come. That's right. Hey, are you ready? Brothers propose that question to each other. Are we ready? Hey, you damn right we ready, man. Through the Spirit. Yeah, we ready, We're ready for the return of Mashiach Yahweh, right? Let me see. Let me find this. I said this big Bible. So it's kind of hard for me to find the pages that I want to go to. If a brother can grab Ephesians 6 and verse 17, I'll just read it off the comment board. Hey man, brother, let me show you brothers. I know I showed you brothers before, but this is a gigantic Bible, man. Real big one. So it's kind of hard for me to maneuver. If a brother can grab that, if not, just bear with me. Just bear with me. What I want, Ephesians 6 and 17. If a brother, if not, just bear with me. Yeah, the water. Ephesians 6 and verse 17, it says, take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Ultimately, that's what we have to have, man. We have to have the word of the Most High, right? The word of the Most High, which are pure, right? Which are everlasting words, right? Which going to lead us to salvation, right? Ephesians 6 and verse 17 again. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword. Hey, so you got to have that. You got to have instrument, that spiritual instrument too, man. To fight off the enemy, which is that sword, which is the spirit, the sword of spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So you have to have that word, man. And ultimately, you got to believe in the word. How about Shema Shah, right? So hey, brothers, it's a beautiful time to be alive. Through the spirit and power, how about Shema Shah? We see that this devil is coming in. All right, but that's just a further, that's just a step closer to salvation, right? Hey, I don't want the Lord continue to be with us. Keep brothers safe. And give brothers beautiful spirits, man. Because hey, we at the end of this thing, man. To hell with these devils. It's winning season. Hey, so with that, brothers and sisters, I pray that this lesson was not only edifying, but comforting and exhorting to my brothers, well as my few sisters that listen and learning. With that, I want to give all praise and glory to our power, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh Shai, Shem, Gosh. Hey, honors be to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the elect elders, that's pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. To you, I say Shalom and a Bible ball. Shalom, Shalom, Akin wa Akwa.